that, one second. I tell the story all the time that we lost the keys of the car, and we're all in the car waiting. We can't find them. They're not in the usual spot. My mother-in-law does the Rabbi Binyamin that says, Rabbi Binyamin says, everything is in a status quo of being hidden from the eyes, and God opens up the eyes of the of the person, right? And you say the verse from the Chumash that we have in the Parsha about Hagar was in the desert with Ishmael. And it brings down there the incredible verse that it says, you know, she put Ishmael, when she got kicked out, when Abraham kicked out Hagar, his concubine, with Ishmael, her son, right? That places to look in that drawer where the keys, and all of a sudden after you say that, and all of a sudden the sixth time I'm like, my dad, he's the funniest. My father's the funniest. He says, he's calling somebody, he says, I've been looking for my cell phone for the past 15 minutes.
You're talking on it.
Have you everybody? Maybe you know where my cell phone is because I can't find it. So. And then, of course, there's the classic one where the glass is on his head and he's looking around for his glasses. Okay, so.
Is there a handout, or are you working from a book right now? Where are we at?
Bottom line, it was the last open miracle that the Jewish people experienced before going into the final dark exile of the Roman exile. Okay? The last open miracle was what? What was the miracle? And if I asked you quick, basically, we've all know Hanukkah. Even I was raised in a Reformed synagogue, have some kind of remembrance of Chanukah, okay? No matter how far-reaching Judaism has gone, it has gone even but they decided, no, we have to fight. We have to make this expression even though we might die. And so they were Moser Nefesh, they self-sacrificed, and then they went out And for some reason, they were successful. They were so few in number. With all of their guerrilla warfare, they were able to conquer hordes and hordes of Greek armies until they finally drove them away, which is an amazing miracle. So when you think about it, there's kind of a confusion into the exact miracle of Hanukkah. Of course, the narrative continues that we finally got back the temple. We went in, we were looking for pure oil, couldn't find any. Hashem helped me today, and I didn't say the Amar Rebbe Binyamin, but it was because I looked in my place where I put it. What is it? What do you see? Susan, what do you see?
I see like the head of a wolf or something.
That's really good. You're very creative.
Head of a woman.
Excellent.
Oh,
what do you see?
Man playing saxophone.
Awesome.
Man playing saxophone.
Awesome. Good. Right? It's really, was that Bill Clinton?
What?
Is that Bill Clinton?
Well,
Yes.
He's got a nose like it.
Kind of funky.
Right. So in any case,
What is it? What is it?
this is obviously just an ink blot. But what the idea really here is that's always, and this is the key. Of perception. And I go into the whole passage in my book about the powers of perception because, you know, I usually show an ink blot to people. If I showed it like this, maybe you'd see it's something like different. And what do you see? And everybody sees something differently in an ink blot, but everybody's bringing their own experience, their own knowledge to the ink blot, only from your own knowing. If you ever never saw a duck-billed platypus, ever in your life, if you know what one of those are, okay? You'd never be able to look at this and say, I see a I'm thinking of the story of Rav Zusha. Rav Zusha, these rabbis, they once asked their Rebbe, they want to know the secret to human suffering. And the Rebbe says, you have to go to this village and look up Rav Zusha. Rav Zusha will be able to answer your questions about human suffering. And of course they find out, they seek out where Rav Zusha is, and they get into Rav Zusha, and he's in the end of the village, it's ice, his whole They go into his house, and it's just a rickety shack, and he's hovered on the floor, and the place is just cold, and it's snow, and he's got a you get to focus on more, but the idea here is just to give you that bounce back, this kind of polarity, to understand that it's how you're viewing every single thing in your world. See, the idea here of Chanukah is it fixes the eyes. It's the fixing of our eyesight, which is fixing our perception. Okay? The idea really here is, just got to find you my notes here. Okay. So how do you fix your eyes? How do you fix your eyesight? So and therefore, in the darkest place of winter, here we have the festival of lights. Okay? So we have to understand, like, it's, how is this our crutch in exile, our help, our inoculation, our vaccine, if you want to call it? Okay? How is it our strength in exile? Okay? There were some rabbis, and I always bring this down every year, when they were sit in front of the candles. The Divrei Chaim would sit staring at the candles for like 7 hours straight. He must have had some honky. Your perception, view like an Egyptian. No, sorry. Walk like an Egyptian, view like a Greek. That's really it. Are you viewing things with Greek eyes, or are you viewing things with the Jewish eye? So the Hanukkah candles, to look at them, is the view of the Jewish eye. Okay? It actually ends up being what we'll call it. It's a very dynamic idea. It's an infusion. Okay? An infusion of things. And now we're going to go over the segulot in a minute. I just got to give you a little bit of background here. Okay? So one is the physical eye, as the Greeks look at things. So you can view things with the physical eye, but we're supposed to be working our whole lifetimes on training ourselves that they see things with the Jewish eye. The Jewish eye is to see things with a little deeper wisdom that is involved. To see things with a, what we'll call, like the Zohar always says, there's a difference when the Zohar wants to bring a proof, right? It says tachazi, come see. Come see. The Talmud brings a different language. Brings this, this is a sefer, a Kabbalah that he brings, unbelievable mystical things, and it talks about the candles specifically. The candles, when we look at it, that it is a candle of a mitzvah, and these candles, or specifically when you were commanded to light, not a normal candle, but a special candle that God wants us to light. This candle, we'd say a blessing, okay? So when the candle's lit, and this is a candle for a mitzvah, it has an unbelievable level of holiness to this. So much so that he calls it like this. Because there's a window here, okay?
Wasn't prophecy ended after the destruction?
Correct, but we have smidges left of it.
And that
Correct.
was one of them.
This is our way that we can connect.
Okay.
And the idea really here is when we connect to this, okay? When you look and engage yourself at the candles, okay? So there's a new insights that come, but you have to be aware of those insights. That's why I recommend if you're able to do this. Me, sometimes I can't able to do this. First, if I get home, I'm starving. I light where the donuts, okay? Light manishtana or whatever. I'm sorry, mouse or quick. Move if they were chasing after the things of this world too many times, it takes away the eyesight. It's an interesting thing. They say it takes away 5/100 of the eyesight when a person is too busy running around in the world with his Greek eyes. He has to reclaim the Jewish eye. So the Shabbos candle, is this too wild for you? Woo-hoo! You lost me, Rabbi. Okay, I'm lost. I have no idea what you're talking about. So anyways, the idea here is, we'll talk about a segula in a minute. Okay? the idea really here is this what you're supposed to do when you're making Kiddush. You say, you know, the first paragraph you have to read. Did I say it right?
Yeah, why
To the woman in the face.
Just for
Okay.
the fun of it.
Right?
For the semblance of it.
The nair of the mitzvah is misnabe kamo navid. It is giving over a prophecy. Ha-misnabe al pi Hashem, that is coming from God. A prophecy that is coming. You have to be aware of the thoughts that come into your mind when you're meditating on the menorah. Now that I've said that, now we're ready to go into the segulot, the page that you have here. Okay? Small, insignificant action that we do that doesn't seem to have any meaning, but it has an unbelievable way of awakening something from the highest realms, beyond nature, that can facilitate a manifestation of something. Okay? For example, just one example, a guy, I wanted to get married, right? I'm like in yeshiva for almost 10 years. The segula to get married is when there is a wedding, and there are these people holding up the poles of the wedding canopy to hold the pole. Hold one of the manifestation of that, okay? Here, she says, a segula has no essence of its own. It's a practical expression of hard work, intentions, and learning, okay? She brings down an interesting segula. She's right away, to eat food dripping with oil every night, so we will be dripping with parnasa, sustenance, and miracles, okay? You, calories, me, parnasa, okay?
Practical what? That one sentence was really awesome.
Which one?
Practical expression of...
It's a practical expression of hard work, intention. Adonai Eloheinu Aleinu Maaseh Yedenu Konanei Aleinu Maaseh. May the work of my hands be pleasant before you. Basically, I should be successful. And then you say the other Tehillim, which is 91, which is really called the Tehillim, the Psalm of the Mazikim, of the destructive forces. Okay, it's a segula to say this 7 times. It would take a long time to do this. Okay, I have never done it, but she says here. So you first begin by reciting the pasuk only in the last verse in 90, and then you do Tehillim, Psalm 91, 7 times consecutive. Okay, and the Kabbalistic Sidurim. I don't think that it's in the art scroll, but you can say it if you can find one of those. You can even get it online. It's pretty easy. I might have handed out in one of our classes in the past that Psalm 67 is supposed to be an unbelievable thing for protection, right? It was on King David's shield, Psalm 67, in the form of a menorah. It wasn't the Star of David on King David's shield. It was this Tehillim written in the form of a menorah that was on the shield.
The 3-branch or the 4-branch?
3-branch. We're sticking with we're not in the, no. King David was pre-Chanukah. Look at the candles and absorb the kedusha of the Or HaGanuz. The Or HaGanuz is the hidden light of creation. If we add up how many candles we are lighting throughout the entire Chanukah, the Chanukah candles, not what we call the shamash, which is the server, right? Do you have an illegal server or a legal server? What kind of server is it? We're going to elevate our server, okay? If you add up exactly every single night consecutively, every single one of the candles, says here, let's just open it up here. Okay, to share you with Rashi, okay? When it says, God said, let there be light, so God really saw that light, that it was good. And he saw that light, it was good, and he says, whoa, we're going to have some bad boys on the scene. I don't want them getting hold of this light, because you know what you can do with this light? You can do a lot of good. You can get the lottery numbers with this light if you wanted to. You can be really messy. You can make creation really messy with this light. Okay? So therefore he took the light and he hid it away. That's called ganuz. Geniza. Our souls is this hidden light. Hanukkah is the time where we can access that. What do you do when you access that? I'm going to bring you an amazing drush the Baal Shem Tov brings, but Rashi's text literally is, and most people, this is how most people look at it. When he took the light and he hid it away, okay, it's the language is that he hid it away. He, first of all, right, God saw the light that it was good. Vayavdel. This is Rashi's quote. Vayar Elokim es haor ki tov vayavdel. God saw the light that it was good and he separated. Right? What do you mean? In other words, it used to be, it was, many rabbis, many big rabbis would be able to go ahead and look in the Torah and be able to know about things that are in the future, because everything is in the Torah, past, present, and future. They were able to see things in here that was mamash a window to the future. Okay? And that is the light that he hid. It is there, it's just hidden. So the idea here of us, when we look at the candles here in the Segula here, the hidden light here, look at the candles and absorb the Kedusha of the Or HaGanuz. The amazing thing is this, right? What is it? What are we supposed to be looking at? What are we supposed to be doing? In a certain sense, right here, right now, our souls are basking in this infinite light. We're involved in this unbelievable, huge experience of creation beyond what we can actually, our limited minds can fathom. But yet, it is really in existence right here and now. Because in the spiritual realm, it's already happened. It's already happening. Our souls are already reached their potential. Okay? The question is what you have to draw. You have to get a vision of it. You have to get a feel. sincere way, in a real way. And you can look at it and go, I'm finally connected to this infinite light. And how does that make you feel? So this is what you work for, a vision of yourself in your actualized spiritual potential, okay? That's what you're trying to do, and that's what the Or HaGanuz is offering you. This hidden light, which is now a window, okay? For you to suck in the prophecy, okay? What am I supposed to do? It is the oracle. You have an oracle. You can go visit now. It looks... and he was facing Esav, and he was afraid, and then he was bothered by the fact that he was afraid because he wasn't supposed to be afraid. And so here you can, yes, you wasn't supposed to be afraid, even though it's Esav. He's come with 400 men, but they're all mariachis. What's the problem? He's coming with a big mariachi band. Oh, how exciting! Is there a buffet? Is there gonna be food? Okay.
You have to get money after they come.
I'm not. He's bringing the mariachis. I hope he's not going to put... Okay. I woke up this morning and I was afraid. I looked out the window and maybe there's a mariachis outside my door.
This is why I don't want to be
Okay, sorry. Okay, fine. Okay, sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. Yaakov Avinu was afraid. And they say, why was he afraid if God promised him he would protect him? And the reason why he was afraid was because of Shema Yigrom Achet. It was perhaps he sinned. And which is a big one, like highest number 1 on the scale, okay? Next to like fear of heights and falling, okay? So in any case, according to the Chida, ask to see the good in others, To be gifted with, once again, a good eye. Everything about Chanukah is fixing our sight, our perceptions. I want to see things in a different way. You got to even loosen up the old perceptions. Everything's about perception, how you view it. When you see things in a higher perspective, right? It's going to affect how you feel. It's going to affect the because it is one of the relationships. You have to be able to list 10 good traits about yourself. Okay? 5. Okay?
A few.
Really, you should list 25. You should go through 25 and you should have them. Okay? In others, right? Oh, you should see the good in others. And in life's difficulties, tests, and tribulations. In everything, it's about fixing the perception. Once again, here's the window, the aura of the good news. The prophet is speaking. You have to be open in your thoughts now and meditating and so, in other words, it is the thing, because it is called Chanukah, and Chanukah is chinuch. Chinuch means education, okay? Okay, but it's a different kind of education, okay? It's a high quality of education, okay? Harav Mislonim Zatzal teaches that we should ask that our children go in the path of Torah, because it is a segula to light the Hanukkah candles for children who will be wise in Torah. They will be B'nai Torah. Okay, so we should ask that our children go in the path of Torah until the coming of the Mashiach, and that they not be embarrassed to be from. Huge one. That's a fear. It's a big fear. A lot of people can't. You got a note from the
It
doctor.
helps us with our diabetes.
Yes, well, if you got that, then of course you better get a healthy oil and don't have donuts, and maybe use a carrot and olive oil. Not even. Cooked carrot, yeah, cooked carrot in olive oil. A salad with olive oil.
Fry salad.
Extra, right?
Fry eggs.
Virgin, extra virgin olive oil. Okay, cold pressed.
Make zucchini.
There you go. Come on. You can have oil in other forms. It doesn't have to be a jelly donut and a latke. Hashem, please. You should just pray. That's the first night of Hanukkah. Save me from the jelly donuts and latkes. Save me. Okay?
Eggs.
your eyesight. Okay? Through the act of staring at the candle flames, we ask that we be gifted with the ability to see things clearly and see Hashem's compassionate hand in all that occurs, since we are glancing at a reflection of the Or Haganuz, the hidden light of creation. This light enabled Adam Rishon to see from one end of the world to the other and detect Hashem's presence and divine energy in everything. So here is your injection, your infusion, that gives you a power of perception that even after Chanukah you carry with you, and you see God and you feel God. The Zorah on the dust of your feet. In those days, the merchants worshipped the dust of their feet. There's a more deeper metaphor in that they worship the dust of their feet. Okay, which means like they thought that their legs would carry them to their fortune, which is people now think that. They think that their hands bring them their success or their feet bring them their success. Not so foreign nowadays, is it? So the idea we are here that Avram was like implying, of course, you're the regular people. Yet, when he spoke with them as if they only had one heart, which is an angel. We have two hearts. We have an evil inclination and a good inclination. But when he spoke to them, he addressed them. He said, Mashiach Nochach Mehashem, right? I don't think they wrote it down. They didn't write it down, okay? But the Rashi Tevos of this pasuk, right, is Mashiach, okay? I'll bring it next week, the exact verse here. They didn't write it down good. Ask for a miracle. One you think is possible in the schut of... One that you think is, impossible in the merit of your renewed emunah. I have a greater faith. When you're in front of those candles.
That doesn't make any sense.
Why?
How can you, unless you can attain it, you can't ask for a miracle.
You have to. All of the parshas that have to do with dreams are in this month. Okay? Every single thing. Jacob's dream all the way to Paro's dream, and Yosef gets out of prison. Miketz. Okay. Because dreams are a way we access our most inner, deepest desires that are within our heart. You got to pay attention to dreams. You should have a notepad next to your bed, because usually what happens is as soon as the head goes up, it happened this morning it was an awesome dream this morning. As soon as I woke up, boom, oh, darn, man. Okay? So it was like, so I forgot it, but it was an intense dream. It was nice. It was something there. More deeper you pull back, the farther the arrow goes. Meaning the more deeper into your heart that you go, in terms of your inner will, that deep desire that really you can't access through your dreams, we will shoot more. It will shoot farther. It will reach its destination, which is in the end of the month, which is in Hanukkah. Okay?
So, Rabbi, one
Yeah.
more question.
Yeah.
So, are you saying that your miracle must be something attainable and realistic? Or
Well,
can it
he
be
says
anything?
one you think is impossible. In other words, hey,
No,
this is real. Every single one of us. Unbelievable. That's a lot of people. Every generation, billions of people. He saw it. The Oregon News is it's all accessible. Okay, it makes everything accessible. Okay, I have to stop now, but listen to this on page 2, the second night. Okay, second time. I'm gonna focus on something else next week, something more powerful. Okay, but I have to tell you right now, I'm not gonna go through these prayers of each night from the Kedushas Halevi. But you can take that with you just to know that each night you make a certain prayer. But he brings down in the Kava Yashar something that people don't really realize. And I'm going to go with I'm going to give you just the tip of the iceberg now. Anti-Shamishism. That's what it is. Okay, that's an anti-Shamishism. That's all a bunch of anti-Shamites, right? Shamishites.